Hi everybody and welcome back. Now in this lesson we're going to explore the last of the basic user attributes, which is a secure password. What we want to accomplish for each user is to have a password with confirmation and then store a hashed version of the password in a database. The hash is to apply an irreversible hash function to input data. We'll authenticate users by taking a submitted password, hash it, and then compare the result to the hashed value stored in the database. If we get a match, the user is authenticated. The heavy lifting of the secure password will be implemented by a single Rails method called hasSecurePassword, which goes in the user model. This single piece of code will do the following. It will save a securely hashed password digest attribute to the database. It will create a pair of virtual attributes, password and password confirmation. This includes a validation for presence and requiring that they match. It will also create an authenticate method that returns to the user when the password is correct or false otherwise. For hasSecurePassword to work, we need to make sure that the corresponding model has an attribute called password_digest. This means that our user model will now have the following attributes. Let's take a look. I've updated the PowerPoint here. There we go. So our user model is going to change from what we simply had a few lessons ago, ID, name and email. It's going to change to the following. So we've added a couple of magic columns, created that and updated that, and now we're adding password digest, which will be a string. To implement this data model, we need to generate a migration for the password_digest. When creating new migrations, you can choose any name you want. In this case, it makes sense to end the name with _users, as Rails automatically constructs a migration to add columns to the users table. So here's our new migration. Let's go back to our code editor. In our terminal, let me move this up a little bit. In our terminal, Rails, generate migration, add password _digest. It's not how you spell digest. To users. So now you can see why it makes sense to add _users to the end of this migration name, because we're adding it to the users table. Finally, we want to give it one attribute, password digest. It's a string. Let me just double check that. Now hit enter. And there we go, our new migration has been created. So take another look at the command we just entered. We gave the argument password_digest string with the name and type of attribute that we want to create. This will save us some work in the future. Now let's go into our migration. So on the left hand side, db, there we go, look, new one here, add password_digest. There we go. So everything we need is in this file, so what we now need to do is apply the add column method to the users table. And we do that by running the migration. Rails db migrate. Perfect. To create the password digest has_secure_password, we need to use a gem called bcrypt, which will give us our hash function. By hashing the password with bcrypt, we're ensuring that any bad actor or an attacker to our application won't be able to log in, even if they get a copy of our database, because all the passwords in the database will be hashed. To use bcrypt, we need to add it to our gem file. So let's go there now. On the left hand side, our gem file, where is it? Right down the end. It's been a while since we updated this. Now on line 4 here, where we have the Rails gem, just hit enter and say gem bcrypt, comma, tab a couple of spaces across here. There we go. What's the version number? 3.1.13. Close out our single quotation marks. Save that. Now back in our terminal, we run bundle install. And let's give that a minute. Okay, and there it is complete. And that's where we're going to leave this lesson off, with updating our gem file. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next lesson, where we're going to talk about adding the secure password to the user model. See you there.